Last time on the Minus 20 podcast, the party rest in Yoald's underground lair. Serafina is unsettled about her new magic powers. Bo Poncho reveals his creator, Tianda, gave him his ability to shapeshift. Penn tells the party they can find her through a girl named Kira. Before the Jacobsons leave, Yoald warns them the Axes will look for revenge. And they all begin to wonder, how have they changed Hammer City by standing up to the Axes?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Minus 20. I am Jay, your game master. We're playing our homebrew campaign, Vigilante, in the Pathfinder 2nd Edition system. And I'm here with my new best friends. I guess I've known everyone before, but I have to say I'm really enjoying these hangout sessions. So, Diana, hi.
Hi, I'm Diana.
Oh, hey, I'm John.
Before we go on into the rest of you, I think you guys need to develop some catchphrases. So mull that over. You don't have to have one now, but at some point, James, maybe you've got one all lined up already.
Leshy for life, I guess.
That's true. That's true. That's fair.
Holly, you're here.
I have no catchphrase, but I am here.
And of course, last but not least.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I don't have a phrase other than probably just an old man grumbling, which I don't know how well would get picked up on a mic.
Unfortunately, no errata to discuss today. But even better, last time we had a pretty serious bant about morals and ethics and societal problems. I think today, let's get back into this game. Last we left our heroes, you had left your new secret lair. Each of you clutching in your hand or maybe strung around your neck a stone on a necklace that'll light up when one of the other carriers of the stones rubs it and says, what'd I say? I need you. I need you 3 times. You agreed to meet back in the lair at 10 p.m., but you are out headed into the world to see what is going on above ground after your conflict with the Axes at Jacobson's Cakes. One quick thing. Let's do hero points. This is episode 6. We reset them last time, but I'm going to give out one at the beginning of this episode. I'm going to give out 1 hero point. I want to give it to Bo Poncho. For your excellent role play, James. It's amazing. I love this character. I can't wait to see where you go. So give yourself an extra hero point today. So I thought I would start with Bo Poncho. Bo, can you, or James, can you tell me what Bo is? Sorry, I'm going to call it.
Bo is...
yeah. How's Bo getting home? What's the deal?
Bo would definitely take a kind of a roundabout. He would start by kind of getting a little bit of lay of the lair / the sewers that kind of lead to it, trying to find just a pathway that gets outside of the walls of the city. Before he does, though, just as part of his being a gunslinger, he would clean up his gun sword so it functions properly. He would also make some ammunition for the day, so he can make some normal rounds, and then part of a gunslinger, you can actually make different like elemental style bullets. So he would kind of grab some of the, what was that, like a shell or a casing or that from that crazy blue monster we fought a couple episodes ago.
Oh, yeah.
And he would try to make some kind of elemental style seed shots.
And these are good just for the day, right?
These would be just for the day, yeah. But just never know what this day could lead to. He would want to be prepared as he possibly could. So he would definitely make some elemental seed shots, and along with his just normal seed shots that he uses for his gunblade as he's kind of making his way out of the town. There is a small farm that he does most of his grape growing, and it's also kind of tied to the Lately where they kind of, grew their lettuces and things of that just for supporting the restaurant. He would make his way out there, grab his cart, throw a couple of barrels of the grapes for the day. Usually he wouldn't grab so much because he doesn't need as much at the restaurant or anything, but he's going to plan to potentially, there's going to be some people that need to eat, and he's going to give away some of the grapes that would be normally for fermenting, but just give it to the town. So just anyone who was looking for Jacobson's Cakes to be their source of nutrients for the day, just something to help.
Yeah.
And then as he's making his way back into town, hopefully meet back up with Vol, because he, at the start of that episode, told him, hey, get out of town kind of thing. So,
right.
And try to come back into town. And as he does come into town, meet up with the local guard so that there's record on, hey, he checked back into town kind of thing.
Well, it's interesting because we haven't talked much about coming in and out of the city, but there are no city walls around the 7th Ward. The only city walls in the city are around the 1st and 2nd wards. So the 1st ward where the black fortress is, and the 2nd ward, which is the original temple, the temples of the city and the college of mining, essentially. It's magic and mining, whatever. But so as you come in, there's no checkpoints or anything. People just pass in and out of the city willy-nilly. There's been no wars in the area almost since since the city was founded. So there isn't any checkpoints or anything like that. So you can pass.
Nothing to stop monsters from entering the town?
No, not in this area. It's not very dangerous. So they've never had the need for that kind of protection. Yeah.
Well, he would still make himself try to as visible as possible to that he was coming back in from town.
Yeah, as dawn comes up and people are coming out, they would, wave and signal to Bo. Interestingly enough, too, because there are no gates, the city almost springs up out of the farm. It's like farm right up to the first buildings. So that's how you can see like the tenements buildings, or I guess on the northern part, it's more of the cottage style buildings in Kira's neighborhood. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And so, no, I'm glad to know the structure. And then, he would make his way back to Lelian.
All right, so you come back to the restaurant. You come in and you see Vol in the restaurant, pacing nervously around.
Oh, Bo, there you are. I was quite worried about you when I woke up. I heard all the clamor. Do you know about Jacobs? Did you see?
He would run up and kind of vine stretch himself to give a huge hug to Vol. Vol, that was crazy last night. I'm glad you're okay.
Oh, I'm fine. I just went out and saw it was the fire at Port Jacobson. I don't know what happened to him and his family. I didn't see, but apparently a number of people died there.
Wait, the Jacobsons died?
I don't know.
Oh, we gotta find out if they're still all right. And he would run out the door real quick.
I'm gonna interrupt you. So as you guys are talking, before you can run out, you hear the front door open, and in the restaurant comes Utia. Now you remember Utia? She's the one that came around to collect the payments for the axes just the day before, right? Leading Shay and Liam. She comes in. She looks very different than she did the day before. Yesterday is sort of a genial middle-aged dwarf making small talk, apologetic. Today, as she comes in, you see these circles under her eyes, a grim set to her face. She comes up to the counter, reaches to her side, pulls out a pouch, and lays down several gold pieces on the counter.
Oh, what do we owe the honor?
Well, if the neighborhood's not interested in our protection, we're giving your money back. And she turns around and walks out the door.
Wait, what does that mean? Are you guys all leaving town, or I'm lost here?
You're shouting these questions to her back as she just goes down the street and goes into the next shop.
Oh my! Oh, well, that was ominous. I guess. Well, we still got to figure out Jacobson's cakes. Well, are you good with the restaurant, or are you going over to help out as well?
I've got to get the dinner ready for tonight, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
My help hasn't showed up yet.
Oh, okay. I'll let me go check on the Jacobsons. Oh, God willing, they're still alive, and maybe I'll come back and. Oh God, I'm no good in the. I can clean up if that helps, and maybe you could get behind the counter.
See, I might have to cancel tonight. So much preparation I went into. Well, just go. Come back as soon as you can.
Okay. Oh, if you need to, we can just have a wine night. I got plenty. I also brought in an extra barrel of the grapes. If anything's left from me helping out the town, the people are welcome to a grape and wine special event. I don't know.
She just grunts, and you can see her clanging around with pots and pans. She's clearly irritated. You can hear her slam, a pot on the stove or something like that.
I'll leave you to it. I'll be back. And
so you'll run up, Jacob. So let's cut from you as you head to Jacobson's Cakes, because I suspect others among you may also head there as well. But for now, let's go to Shep as he leaves the lair. Maybe rewind a little bit back to Shepard. Where does he go? I'm curious. I don't even know, where he spends the nights or whatever. So I'm curious where he heads back to.
Shepard rarely knows where he's going to spend the night either, until recently acquiring a very fancy lair in a sewer to now call home. Typically, he just finds wherever is hopefully dry and out of the way. When he leaves the underground sewers, a little bleary-eyed as the sun strikes his eyes, instinctually, he will let his feed lead him back to the Jacobsons, where he visits every day for his daily bowl of soup and day-old bread, and just go through the paces of opening the clinic for those in need.
All right, so as you head over to Jacobson's Cakes, you notice a small crowd gathered around the area, and you pretty easily slipped your way through. You were kind of an invisible guy in this neighborhood for many, and you come up and you see the smoldering ruins of this restaurant. There are still some people working in the area. The volunteer firemen that live in the 7th Ward are still cleaning up, maybe putting out some smoldering, working with shovels and axes to break up the last bits of the fire that are still aglow or smoking. Bucket brigades bringing buckets over from the fountain nearby in the triangle square. And the crowd is kind of murmuring, wondering what happened.
Yeah, Shepard will make his way kind of around the outskirts of the crowd and see what he can overhear.
Okay.
The word is from the populace. Our concerns are warranted about the group of us are going to be, or rather how we're going to be received.
All right, give me a perception check. This is kind of like an insight check.
Sure. Need it open or blind?
Open is fine.
The fighter Shepard happens to already be an expert at perception and still rolls a 1.
Natural 1. Yeah, you sort of circulate this crowd, and you don't really, there's just so much crosstalk, and a lot of people are silent. You don't pick up what the general vibe is from these people.
Without having anything particular stand out to him, you will...
Maybe, also I would add, maybe the sight of the smoldering ruins of Jacobson's also maybe contributes to this. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly has an emotional impact on Shepard, likely actually more than the events of last night.
Yeah.
Because this was such a staple fixture, not only in the community, but his life. Kind of the realization that the Jacobsons are gone, and so is something that was a major part of his life for many, many years. So
yeah,
he's probably just going to kind of go through the motions of finding a little stool somewhere that has enough legs to keep standing and support the patient's weight, and just set up and see how the day goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't set up near Jacobson's cakes. It is so devastated. You can't set up there, but maybe across the way in Triangle Square, you set up in a little patch of grass. And we'll just do like a montage as people come up to him one by one. There you are, Shep. I've been looking for you all morning. Things like that. Let us go to Seraphina next. As we rewind again, as we see Seraphina slip out of the lair and head where?
Seraphina's going to go home. Again, not that uncommon for her to be just getting home as everyone's getting up, just kind of the nature of the work. But she's going to slip in, and as she's hanging up her cloak, she notices that, her big medicine box that she normally takes with her on her house calls is still sitting there. So she'll kind of push it back under her cloak so that it's not obvious that she just came back and didn't have that with her. So she would kind of look around and see if anyone's up yet.
Oh, there you are. Oh, well, I suppose you had a patient last night. You missed all the excitement.
Oh, I noticed as I was coming here that it looks like something happened at Jacobson's. What
apparently
happened?
Some ruffians burned it down last night.
Oh, my word.
Well,
Is anyone
yes.
hurt? Should I go and see if I can help anyone?
Oh, it looks like, from what I understand, several people died. They took the bodies away already this morning, though.
Oh, no, the Jacobsons? Are they okay?
I don't know. I haven't heard a thing about who it was.
I can't believe I missed all of that. I was, I had a couple calls to make in the night. I was over at the tenements and, just here and there, but everyone's okay. Echo wasn't
Oh, yes.
involved in that at all? Or?
No. I went out last night when I heard the ruckus. I saw you were already gone, though. But I think the axes may have tried to burn down the bakery. Something about not paying protection.
Oh, I meant to tell you, you might have noticed, but when they came by yesterday, they asked for an extra gold, and I had to clean out the till. I'm really sorry, but...
Oh, dear.
And of course, right, just then, tinkle, 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 in comes Utia, grim-faced. This is new to you as well. Then she'll walk up to the counter, again take out the gold from her pouch, put it in the counter. Looks like the neighborhood no longer needs our protection. And she'll turn on her heel and walk out the door.
What?
What was that about?
I mean, this must be related to the fire, but Well, I mean, we have the money back, but what are we going to do now if they're not going to protect the businesses?
Oh dear. Well.
Oh, Mama, where did you put? We had that big trunk full of Daddy's stuff. Where did you put that?
Oh, I think it's somewhere. I might have put it in the little attic upstairs. Have you looked there yet?
Oh, I haven't looked for it. Something just crossed my mind. I just wanted to just kind of look through his things. But
what do you need, dear?
Well, do you remember he used to have this? Didn't he used to carry this sort of good luck charm or something on him when he was working in the forge to kind of like protect from fire or something? I was in this talking about the fire and everything. I kind of thought maybe we should hang that up somewhere. This is Serafina obviously trying to make something up because that's not what she's looking for at all. But
I don't remember any such thing as that. Well, you can have a look. And she'll, rummage around and give you a little brass key.
Okay. And then where is Echo? Is she around somewhere or did she take off already?
I think she's curled up in your bed.
Well, I won't disturb her then. She probably also had a late night last night with all the goings on. So, and then Serafina will, as soon as it seems like a good time to slip away, will go up and rummage through her father's effects and find his studded leather armor, which is well worn, but she's going to sort of slip it out and hide it under her bed.
We'll end that scene there as Serafina tucks this studded leather armor under her bed, and we'll pivot to Marth.
Good morning. So Marth is, after he comes out, his thoughts are that he's often in other places other than his office and bedroom. And if anybody has come to check in there and they see him coming in the morning, that's going to be suspicious. So instead, he is heading straight towards the orphanage, where is a place that no one would necessarily come looking for him in the morning, but would not be surprised if he was there. So he makes his way through the wards, gets over to the orphanage, immediately tracks down Sammy.
Marth, what's up?
Hey,
what are you doing here so early?
We need to get together as many of.
Hey, Marth, hang on a sec. Come with me. I've got this errand to run. Here,
wait.
take this mop. You're always good at mopping. Start in the corner over there.
Okay, but no, this time I need you to work with me. We need as many volunteers as we can get.
Volunteers?
We need food and we need
Food?
cooking supplies.
Where am I? What?
Look, Jacobson's burned down last night.
Oh, I know. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah. Well, there's still all those people out there that are relying on that soup kitchen. And now there's no Jacobson. So we got work to do. Let's go get some people going, all right?
Well, I'll put the word out. I think I know a couple of people. Maybe can help. We can lend Sully here at the orphanage, but I'm gonna have to stay here most of the day. Of course,
that's
you know
okay.
How it is.
You stay here.
Got a couple of cases of fever, so someone's got to stay and look after the kids.
I understand. Just give me 15 of the older kids that we can count on. I'll use them, and maybe someone from the kitchen who knows what they're talking about. I can keep it all organized, and we'll go from there. All right?
Fine. Where do you want me to send them to?
Just bring them all into the kitchen so we can gather the stuff and get going.
All right, I'll send a word out. You know what happened? Did you hear what happened?
Well, I mean, yesterday during the soup kitchen, the Axes came for their money, and the Jacobsons rather publicly refused to give them the money. And now the next day, their business is burned down and they're missing. I mean, I don't know for sure what happened.
No, but after that, I heard a lot of the Axes were killed.
I'm sorry, what now?
The Axes, the ones who were doing the burning, were all killed.
Oh, I hadn't heard that part yet.
Everyone's talking about it.
Oh my God. That's going to be problematic. The Axes are not going to take that lightly. Oh boy.
Yeah, some people say that's a rival gang.
Oh God. Just what we need. Gang warfare. Hey, make sure that the kids that we don't have in the system yet get accounted for. We don't want them getting swept up in the middle of all this.
No, of course not. But you think it was a gang? I don't think it was a gang. Do you think it was a gang?
I mean, I don't know of any gangs. I mean, there's no way that we would have no one from our different contacts throughout the city, the different kids that we're taking care of, the homeless. None of them have heard of this gang till now. It's got to be something else.
No, that's what I think. Someone else said it was just a bunch of people that was standing up for the Jacobsons. The Jacobsons are gone. They're missing. No one knows where they are.
Well, one thing at a time, Sammy. We got to take care of the here and now, right?
Well, if it was somebody, they're awful brave.
Yeah. Or stupid.
Well, we don't know anyone like that. So, anyways, yeah, I'll round people up. Okay. You wait in the kitchen. By the way, could you do me a favor while you're waiting?
Yeah. What's up?
The oven needs cleaning.
All right. I'll do what I can, okay? All right, let's go. Go.
And so we'll cut that scene as our friend Marth is on his hands and knees scrubbing out an oven. As you can hear Sammy in the background shouting out orders to teachers and people that work at the orphanage. And, boxes are brought in of dry goods, things like that Sammy can, as you know, not give up so easily. We'll cut to Kira, or should I say Pen, as box form.
Pen breaks away from the party as soon as she can, and she's going to start moving through some crowded streets just to get some distance from the party. But then she's going to keep winding until she can find some secluded private streets, constantly looking over her shoulder, making sure she's not being followed by her party, making sure nobody else is paying attention to her. And as soon as she can get to a secluded area where she can hide, she's going to transform back into her human form.
Nice. One thing we never really discussed is the mechanic in your character sheet. Is it a single action to transform? Do you know?
Change shape is an action, yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So it takes literally 6 seconds for this thing to change.
So as soon as I change into my human form, I am going to make my way as quick as possible back to my house.
Okay.
I do not want to be caught out, sneaking out again.
Sure. Yeah, and it's really early in the morning. There are people in the streets, but not very many. And you make it to your house and probably go around, I assume, through the back garden to where your window, not open, maybe it's just a crack open, so it's easy to lift up.
Yep. And then climb back into my bed, make sure everything is as it should be, slide into bed, cover myself up, remove the pillow that I had stuffed there to look like a body.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you sort of lay in bed for a while, hearing the flow of life around you. One thing you notice that's different is there isn't the usual bustling in the kitchen early in the morning. Typically before dawn, your mother gets up and goes to work. This morning, you don't hear any of the usual sounds from your mother blare in the kitchen. After you lay there for some time, you also notice another thing. There's a sudden commotion outside your house in the street. You hear shouts and the creaking of a cart's wheels. The shouting seems to be following this cart down the street. And after a few minutes, the noise subsides into the background. Although you do hear one familiar voice outside your house in the back. Oh, yeah. We're like best friends. Yeah. Me and Kira? Oh, I know her so. They were totally in love. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was going to date his best friend. She was going to set me up. Yeah. Oh, I know. It's so sad. I don't know if anyone's told her yet. Oh, yeah. And then the voices go away. You recognize the voices belonging to your nemesis, Lark.
Do I know who she's talking about?
You don't. Well, you know, right, the love, right? You assume she's talking about Liam.
I'm going to get up. I'm going to make sure I in my haste to get back in bed, I'm still wearing my armor. I take it off and I shove it under the bed, put some clothes in front of it, put my normal sleepwear clothes on, and then I slowly start going down the stairs, maybe over dramatically imitating my sleepy self in the morning. And I make my way down to the kitchen, rubbing my eyes. Mom, why aren't you at work?
As you come down to the kitchen, you see your mother and father. We haven't met your father yet. This is Quinn. What does he look like?
My family tends to keep their human form, and we all kind of look nondescript. I mean, middle-aged, short-cropped, dark hair. It's not as black as mine. It's more of a dark brown, but middle-aged, no distinguishing features, just average dad. I don't know. Our family's kind of average.
Your mother and father, normally your mother's gone by this time. Your mother's here in the kitchen. And your father, this is when he usually gets up. He works as a foreman at a shop, or a shoe shop, right? And so he typically, your mother gets up early, goes to work. She comes home earlier. He comes home later. But they're both in the kitchen together. sitting at the table, clutching mugs and talking in low voices. And as you come in, they look up and just this sadness and concern, almost pity, as they see you, sweeps over both their faces simultaneously. Oh dear, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you.
What happened?
Come, pull up a seat, girl.
I try to look worried and melancholy, like I don't know what's happening.
It's Liam, dear.
Kira's stomach drops. What about Liam?
He's dead.
No, you're wrong. It can't be possible. You're wrong. And Kira stands up and runs up to her room and slams the door. And she starts running over to her dresser and digging through, and it's not in this drawer, and she slams it and opens another one. And she comes across the music box that he gave her. And she opens it and she listens to it, and all of these feelings start coming out, and she's thinking about the arrow that she shot, and she doesn't know who she shot it into, and they're wrong. He wasn't there. He would never have done that. And she closes the music box and opens it again and starts the song on repeat. And all of her tears just start coming out, and she goes over to her bed and lays down. And she's just repeating this song over and over in the music box, just shaking and breathing and just saying, no, it's not true.
Several hours go by this way, and probably you even fall asleep at times, senseless, until maybe about mid-afternoon, there's a knock on your door. You hear footsteps go over to the door, some voices, and you hear your mother call up to you.
Kira, dear, you have a visitor.
Go away.
No, I think you need to come out, Kira.
Mom,
Kira.
I can't.
Kira, get out here now.
Kira tucks the music box safely by her pillow and stands up and tries to wipe her eyes. Each footstep feels so heavy, like it takes all of her effort for each step. She makes her way to the door and opens it.
You see in the kitchen with your father, a middle-aged woman with long blonde hair, streaks of gray. And maybe yesterday, one could have called her youthful looking. Today, it seems all the things keeping her face up have collapsed and just overcome with a demeanor of complete sadness. This is Liam's mother, who you know. She looks at you dry-eyed, and from her pocket, she pulls a piece of paper splattered with blood and hands it to you. I think Liam would have liked you to have this. And then she nods at you and your parents and leaves the kitchen.
I just stare down at the paper, and all I see is the blood. I'm just staring at the blood. And I don't even think about what I'm holding. I'm just staring at the blood. And I just start hyperventilating, quietly crying. I'm trying to cry, but I can't make noise anymore. And I run back to my room and slam the door and run back to the bed.
I will end our scene there. Now, let the camera that we use to swing between the scenes in our little production now swings back to Jacobson's Cakes. We see Shepard across the street tending to people, set up a little stool. You've got a line of people he's tending to. Next to him, however, we also see Marth and Sammy and a couple of other folks from the orphanage, as well as a number of other people who have just stopped to help. You've got a rough, wooden plank table set up. Nothing fancy. Maybe some, porridge is what you could make from the food, the extra food at the orphanage. Maybe, some loaves of bread, that kind of thing. Simple stuff. Maybe some basic vegetables, carrots or something. And you're handing this out to people come up and sort of milling around. Interestingly enough, not only are usual, the indigent or the homeless are stopping by, but just people, some of the firefighters, some of the people from the crowd are coming by as well. What are you guys thinking? What's going through your mind at this point? Do you have any thoughts? Like what's the scene like?
So Marth is very 1 foot in front of the other in the moment. He's not really doing a very good job of looking out for people's reactions or keeping, making sure his identity is safe. He is focused more on the people that are there and the losses, the heartache. He's throwing himself into his work right now. You helped with the fire, here, let me get you a double portion. Make sure you're hydrated. Did you talk to Shepard over there yet? You really need to. Just because you think you're fine doesn't mean you are. Anybody that is around, that's his focus.
Hey, Marth!
Oh, good morning, Mr. Pancho.
And you see him kind of like he could probably handle this barrel really easily with Bo's actual strength, but he's like playing down that it's really hard to move this barrel. And yeah, he's using his vine arms to kind of just roll the thing, and it's just kind of back and forth on the cobblestone. Could I get your help? I've got some extra food to help out. It would have been wine grapes, but I just picked them early to help out where I could.
Oh, absolutely. You are a lifesaver. Thank you. And both him and Sammy come over to help with it.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a big old barrel, not the biggest person,
Yeah, that's a lot. Like, wow.
Here, let's tip it up.
God.
And I'll twist off the top part and kind of pry up the metal that kind of holds it in place. And I think it should be plenty for what we're trying to do today.
I think that's great, but hey, I hate to ask, but with the events that are happening, like, I don't know if the Jacobsons are even around anymore. These people are going to need help. Do you think you can talk to some of the other like restaurants and food providers in the city? Do you guys like have a connection? Like, I can only do so much from like, we're kind of taken from the orphanage right now.
Oh,
like,
that's not good. No, I can definitely ask around the different restaurants and our suppliers. We got the farm. I can see what we could spare as well for Lady Ann. I'm sure
great.
Vol will help.
Great. I think we're going to long-term need to get in. I need to talk to some of these suppliers and, get something set up. But for just right now, like this week, like anything anybody can spare, any connections they have, like, I think that's going to be huge.
Yeah, I'll ask around.
It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you as well. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, well, sorry. I love coming by, but wine's expensive, man.
Well, after this, you just come by and have a free bottle on me, all right?
I appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, as you guys do this and set up and have these conversations, one thing you notice too, you're very near this tavern called the Room and Pillar. I've mentioned it a couple of times. It's a very large tavern. It's how'd you say it? The go-to super tavern of the neighborhood. It's really big. It almost takes up a full block and can hold hundreds of people at a time. And, inside is just simple wooden tables. On Sunday mornings, it's actually like a brunch place for families. Will march in with their families, and they have, the different blocks will have their table or section of tables they'll use, and their allotted time. Very insidery, sort of traditional place. It's starting to fill up already. Today is an Oath Day, which is Fantasy or Galarian, Paizo's Galarian Thursday. We're using that calendar. So it's Oath Day. A big day for drinking anyways. Oath Day nights at the Room and Pillar are usually bursting. But you can already see it's filling up early as the crowd, the spillover crowd, the gawkers, the gossipers, are beginning to head to the tavern and starting to drink. And the crowd is even spilling outside into the marketplace area and Triangle Square. And you just hear all around you, people are speculating what happened the night before. Notice I'm not making anyone do rolls for this now. Poor Shep. You hear similar things to what Marth did, right? Some people suspect it's a rival gang, coming to muscle in on the Axis territory. Although the Axis behavior sense leads other people to maybe start suspecting, maybe it was do-gooders from the neighborhood interfering with Axis work. And there's a lot of ambivalence about this. Some people are tired of the Axis and see them as, a criminal element, and we're glad someone stood up to them, especially after the raising rates that they've been charging. Other people who maybe have friends or family among the Axis, or who, benefit from the protection they serve, are, not so happy. I'm going to introduce something to this game using a reputation matrix for the players now. So basically, your actions will have consequence in the city to the various factions in the 7th Ward and perhaps beyond. Right now, the only there's the Axes, right? And then there is a general public. So the Axes, we can fairly say that you guys start off on hostile status. And instead of usually in Pathfinder, it's a 3-level scale. You're either friendly, indifferent, or hostile or whatever. We're going to expand it to 5, and I can talk more in detail as we sort of go up and down these levels. But for the Axes, you're extremely hostile to the Vigilante. The Vigilantes and the Axes are mortal enemies, right? With the general public, though, I'm going to start you off at neutral, right? People, the jury's out. They're not exactly sure what happened. It's becoming clear that some people stood up against the axes, and not everyone is happy about it. Not everyone is sad about it either. People are bummed about the Jacobsons. Others are like, he deserved it because he didn't pay. I paid, right? So there is a lot of ambivalence circulating around the neighborhood. In addition to that, you also hear some whispering. Hey, did you hear? Fingers McNabb. It's back in town. And for anyone who wants to, can roll me a society check to see if you remember this name. And I guess the one person whose society is amazing is in her room crying. But the rest of you can roll it for me because all of you would be hearing this.
For those of us with underworld lore, can we roll that?
Yes, absolutely. Underworld lore is perfect for Fingers McNabb. Where are all those crits that you were rolling the other day?
Shepard rolled a 13.
Seraphina rolled a 9 for a 10.
Marth rolled a 3 for an 8.
All right, the DC was 10, so because the Fingers McNabb, Seraphina, Shepard, and Bo would recognize the name. This person is kind of infamous. Fingers McNabb is a famous pickpocket, and Fingers McNabb used to torment the 7th Ward. If you ever got drunk too much, there was a good chance your wallet would be gone when you woke up in the morning. From old Fingers McNabb. No one knew who Fingers McNabb was, but is one of the shining accomplishments of the Axes that when they took over the neighborhood, they banished Fingers McNabb from the 7th Ward. Now, people are saying that Fingers is back. Now, as you're watching the room in the pillar fill up and hearing this rumor about Fingers McNabb, you hear shouting across the street in the room and pillar. And probably, I don't know, like an old Western movie, you see someone get thrown out a window, you know? There's a big brawl going on. Ah, oh my God. And what you can tell because you're looking is that there's been a rash of thefts in the room and pillar as a number of purses have been lifted. And with that, we'll end our session there.